Today's video is all about using our slow cookers to help us out in the kitchen. I am making some Instant Pot Chicken Fajita bowls as well as some roasted apples in my crock pot. I'm Rebekah with Learning Together by Grace. You guys, let's go. So one thing that I love about using slow cookers is the fact that you can put all of these ingredients into one pot, and by the end of the day, you have a fully cooked meal. I especially love doing this for dinner because dinner tends to be the time of day where I'm just like, I am done. I am ready to just be settled in for the day. So with these Instant Pot fajitas, I am using frozen, and I've already cleaned them because this was a part of a cut chicken, but I'm using frozen chicken breasts with the bone in. I do like the bone because it gives it more flavor. And I am just seasoning it with some paprika. I'm using chili powder. I'm also using this garlic powder. And yes, you guys, I am seasoning it very well. I'm also going to use some cayenne pepper so that we can have a little bit of spice for these fajita bowls. And then I'm going to use regular black pepper as well as salt. So I just want to share, I am a very busy mom and wife, of course. I homeschool my children, and that takes up a lot of my time because I am traveling to get them to different social events or even different classes that they may be taking. We are part of a homeschool co-op. So doing things like this really saves the day when it comes to eating, because I do want to feed my family nourishing food. I'll put a playlist of my homeschool tips and tricks down in the description so that you guys can see what homeschooling is about. So that's my sourdough starter. I like to put it behind my slow cookers or Instant Pot to get the starter bubbly and ready for baking. So now I'm going in with some apples. These are some old apples that have been sitting on my counter for several days, and I was trying to figure out what to do with them. And so this particular day I said, you know what? I'm going to core them and I'm going to put them in my crock pot, and we are going to have a little dessert for tonight, a healthy dessert. And I saw this idea somewhere. I wish I remember, but I cannot. But I did not have a full recipe. And so I just created one, and it's very simple. You core the apples, you also add some honey in them, you add some cinnamon in them, and I think I added a little bit of salt. And so again, this is something that I can do to have a full meal for my family as well as a dessert. So back to homeschooling and being a busy mom and wife. You guys, a lot of times people feel that homeschoolers are a little awkward or strange. And they feel that maybe they are not getting the proper socialization that they need, and maybe they're hermits. But I can attest to that. We are not in any way those sort of people. If anything, we are very sociable, and sometimes it's overwhelming how much we socialize. We are a part of a church, so we have socialization with that. My children, they play sports. We are taking the season off from soccer, but they do play sports. Oh, a little caveat here. I did use butter. I forgot to mention that earlier, but yes, I use butter in this recipe. But yes, my children, they are taking the season off from soccer, and they are in theater. The last production that they did was Lion King. My son played Scar, and my daughter played young Nala. And this particular season, they are doing a Charlie Brown Christmas, where my son is playing Snoopy as well as Schroeder, and my daughter's playing Frida as well as Violet. And they are in choir, and they really do thrive, and they have great friendships that they are forming. But one of the things that I never want to lose, and I'm just showing you guys my frozen peels and cores. You can make jelly out of them. You can puree them and put them in different cakes and things like that. Breads, whatever. And so anyway, back to what I was saying. My children, they really are thriving. And I really am loving where we are at with homeschool and with the co-op that we are a part of. And they are very intelligent people. And I am blessed. And this is something that I always talk about. I always say, my children, this is all God. It's all God in what they have, like the gifts that they have and their abilities. And so back to what I was saying in terms of wanting to make sure that I am still feeding my family nourishing meals. You guys, it's so important for me. I love to cook first and foremost. You guys, you see here, the onion are getting to me. My eyes were watering. It was burning, but I was going to keep it going. I turned on my vent to help with that. But I love cooking, and I started cooking in the kitchen with my mom when I was probably a preteen, teenager. And I have to say, I wasn't the greatest cook. And I burnt things all of the time. So that did discourage me. But once I got married, I knew that I wanted to provide healthy meals for me and my husband. And I can definitely say that before we got married, my husband's choices of food were very interesting, to say the least. So I was able to come in and help nourish him. And I've also been able to teach him some things. My husband is actually an awesome cook. He does such a wonderful job. And sometimes I feel like he does way better than I do. But nonetheless, here I am constantly doing this for my family because I love to nourish them. I'm just chopping up some vegetables so that I can place them inside of my Instant Pot. And so I am doing a two-step process here. First, I'm cooking the chicken by itself, and you can actually do it all together. It really is up to you, but I wanted my vegetables to have a little bit more of a crisper texture to them. So I didn't want them to be super mushy, but we've done super mushy before, and honestly, you guys, it all tastes fine. But so this two-step process is me cooking the chicken in the Instant Pot, and I believe I cooked it for 3 to 4 hours. And then after I got done with that, I just removed the chicken from the Instant Pot, as you guys are seeing here, and it was smelling divine. And so after that, I just placed it on the plate, and I allow it to cool while my vegetables are cooking in all of that broth that was created from the chicken. This is why I enjoy keeping my bones on my meat, because it does give it a better flavor, like I said before. And so here I am just putting all of those vegetables into the Instant Pot. And what I did, I took those exact same seasonings that I used for my chicken, and I seasoned the vegetables as well with that, and I just stirred it all in and covered it, and I allowed it to cook for another hour. All right, so back to nourishing your family. I have been on this journey, again, like I said, since my husband and I got married. And one thing that I've always done is try to cook pretty healthy. And I do remember my sister making a comment. She was like, you know how to cook really good, but it always tastes so healthy. And so, but I think over the years, I've learned to incorporate more fat. I used to be like the low fat, fat-free type of girl. But over the years, I realized that, you know what? That's not what's the most beneficial for me and my family. And as I age, I have to curate my cooking to my needs, my husband's needs, and my children's needs. And so now that my son is 14 years old, he's a teenager, that child can eat some food. And so I've had to bulk up my meals and be able to figure out how to make things stretch, especially in this economy, as well as always trying to find good quality food. And so here I am just deboning my chicken, and I am saving those bones because I do like to make my own bone broth. I will use store-bought bone broth, but there's just something extra special about homemade bone broth. And it's so simple to make. I use my slow cooker to do it, and I will use at least a full chicken's worth of bones, and I will put it in my slow cooker, either my Instant Pot slow cook function or my crock pot, and allow it to do its thing for 48 hours filled with water. All right, so now these peppers and onions, they are fully cooked. I am just adding in that meat that I just boned. And so now I am just going to cover this up, and I am going to allow it to stay on the warm function for about an hour before we start eating it. And in the meantime, I am going to go on and make some rice, and it's so easy. I just add the rice, the water, the seasonings, the oil, and then I will boil it for about 2 to 5 minutes, depending on how long it takes for the boiling to happen. And then after that, I turn it on low and I allow it to sit for about 20 minutes, and that is it. And so I just finished mixing all of those vegetables and that chicken together in that broth, and you guys, this is what it looked like. It was so delicious. I really do love doing this. And yes, of course, you can do this on top of your stove, but sometimes we don't want to be, in front of the stove. We want something else to do all the work for us. And so let me know in the comments below if this is something that you have actually tried before in your Instant Pot or slow cooker, or if this is something that you are willing to try. All right, you guys, so I just plated up one of those apples from my crock pot, and I'm taking some of the juice from it and pouring it on top. Now, I thought that they looked gorgeous, but my daughter, she thought otherwise. She was like, no, Mom, that's not cute. But that's okay. I wanted to present it to you guys. Anyway, it took 8 hours for this to cook on the low setting of my crock pot. So now I'm just going to try some out for you guys. They were very soft, and there goes my son giving you pieces. But they were very soft, and I thought that they were perfect. It wasn't too sweet. It was just a little tangy, but I really enjoyed it. And I even ate some the next morning with some yogurt and some homemade granola. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe and share, and hit that notification bell so that you know when I post a new video. Leave me a comment below. Let me know how you're doing. I hope that you have a blessed one, and take care. Bye.